Hey, Internet, Eric here. To quote Welcome Matheson, it's been a while. Sorry about that. But this year, I've said it before, this year, unless otherwise requested, it's going to be nothing but movies that I have never seen discussed on this channel. And this movie that I am going to discuss today came out just last year. And my buddy Mike over at American Werewolf in New Jersey, he had been wanting this movie to be made for I couldn't tell you how long, way before it was even announced. He loves the novel Dracula, and one of his favorite chapters, if not his favorite chapter, is the chapter of the Demeter, when the Demeter is taking Dracula and his coffins of dirt from Bulgaria to Carfax Abbey in England. He finally got that in the Dracula Netflix episode or TV show, and he also finally got it in Last Voyage of the Demeter. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you, and like I said, this came out last year. I basically told you what the movie is about. It is about the one chapter in Bram Stoker's novel Dracula where it is the ship the Demeter, and it is the captain's log explaining what happened when they left Bulgaria to go to England, and they are carrying a bunch of caskets and coffins filled with dirt, Dracula, and some other fun surprises. I was really, like I said, Mike hyped this one up, and I ended up really digging this. I bought this sight unseen, really dig it, and I was really excited when I found out it was directed by Andre Orvidal, who directed Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I absolutely loved. He also directed The Autopsy of Jane Doe and Troll Hunter, which I heard are really good. Anyways, let's get to the acting. First, this actor here, he plays Clemens. This is, if I remember his name correctly, who said it? Corey Hawkins, my buddy on Twitter, he said he played Dr. Dre in the Straight Outta Compton movie. He's really good in this. He is playing I guess you would say, medical student or a recent medical school graduate. This is in the 1800s. And the Demeter is looking for 3 hired hands. You know what I mean? Free travel, free room and board, all that stuff to England to help them on the trip. And Clemens, he's super skinny, but he claims he knows his way around the boat, and he does his best to convince people to get him on the ship because he says you can lose a map, you can lose a compass, you can't lose the stars. I know astronomy. And he's still turned down, and luck should have it when they are transporting the crates from Dracula, I guess you would say, the easiest way to say it, onto the boat. One of it slips and falls because one of the guys sees the dragon insignia on it. And the captain of the ship, his grandson's almost crushed. Clemens saves his life. He's, thank you very much. You can be on board type of thing. This actor is really good. He's very soft-spoken, but he's got great chemistry with every one of these actors. He shows fear when he needs to show fear. He shows anger when he needs to show anger because he is looked at as an outsider. He's not a seaman. And he is obviously because he's black. A lot of people look down on him. They even call him some derogatory names. And he shows that little bit of anger, but it's not over the top. He's just like, say that word one more time. That type of thing. Gets his point across. So I really like this guy. The captain is played by, you can't really see him very well here, but he's played by the guy who portrayed Davos in Game of Thrones. Really good. What do you expect? He plays this role really tired because this is going to be literally his last voyage. Obviously, spoilers. The fucking book is over 100 years old, so we know no one in the Demeter survives. But he's going to retire. Okay, and you can tell he just doesn't have it in him anymore. But again, strong performances, really protective of his grandson, Toby. And he's got great chemistry. He's very respectful of Clemens, so I liked him a lot. The next character is he on this? We don't see him, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. David Desmalichin? I don't know. He was Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad, the one by James Gunn. He is like the first mate. And he was against taking Clemens, again, really fucking good. He was against taking Clemens to begin with, but then he grew to respect Clemens. And even though they clashed a lot, Really, really great actor. The rest of the crew is great. I love the religious cook. You have the asshole who just doesn't like Clemens because he's black. He doesn't like Clemens because they find a woman. I'll talk about her next. Women bringing up coming on bad. Women being on board is bad luck. Say that 5 times fast. They're really good. The woman, the actress. I don't remember her name, but there is a scene where Clemens is down in the cargo area, where they have all the livestock, and they have like all the stuff that they're shipping, and there he sees that one of the crates is kind of tilted, and it either falls or it just opens up, and there's a big pile of dirt on the ground. If you know vampire lore, they have to sleep in the dirt of their homeland. So that's what all these crates are full of, except for the one with Dracula in it. And Clemens finds a woman. She's alive. We have a good jump scare. You find out that she's the one that Dracula's been feeding on. And for most, she's really good in this movie. For the first half of her scenes, she is getting blood transfusions from Clemens because he knows that her blood is infected. And then when she finally wakes up, she's full of fear, and you buy that fear, and I really like it. The last person I want to talk about is the young actor who plays Toby, the grandson of the ship captain. I love this kid. You meet him, he's fun, he's cool, he's sweet, he gets along great with Clemens, he respects his grandfather, he wants to do well by his grandfather. Like, I love the scene where, it's an important job his grandpa gives him to, like, polish the telescope, and he really wants to do it. You know what I mean? I love the scene where Dracula, he kills the livestock and he kills the dog to feed on it. And poor Toby feels upset, not just because the dog died, but because he didn't watch them. It was his responsibility. He fucked up. So this kid was really, really good. And he's really good at being scared. One of the best scenes is when he locks himself in the I don't know if it's the captain's bedroom or what have you, the library, but he accidentally locks himself in with Dracula. And you buy that kid's fear. I really like it. That's an intense scene. He's trying to hide from Dracula. Dracula's stalking him. Clemens and the ship captain are busting open the door, trying to save him. And like I said, we know that no one survives, so it's not a fucking spoiler. The book is over 100 years old. It's a great scene. So great acting all around. Dracula. I like the look of him. You can't see it too well on this Blu-ray, but you can see he's very bat-like. I love the ears. I love the wings. Nasty looking fucker. Full bodysuit, makeup, all that stuff. I watched some of the behind-the-scenes stuff on this Blu-ray, and this actor, he's really, it's all body movement because there's only a couple words spoken, and it's just when Dracula's fucking with the people. I like how there's different phases of Dracula's body. When we first see him, he's very skinny, very frail. And he now has to kill the crew because his food is taken away, Well, first when he kills the livestock. But his food is taken away, because of the girl. So when he attacks the first person in, like the first crew member, he jumps up and slashes her throat. As they fall, there's some blood that's on the ground, and he's just lapping it up like a fucking cat, like drinking milk. He's like a drug addict, and he looks like a cracked out meth head. He's super skinny and sinewy and stuff like that. But by the end of the movie, after he's fed on so much of the crew, he's not like swole or anything, but he's ready to fuck shit up. So I like how there's different stages of his body development, and he's, like I said, he's scary as fuck. He gets in on the action. Really, really good. This director is really good at the jump scares. You feel, it's like one of my favorite jump scares is when one of the crew members is looking in the telescope or whatever. And of course, it's a typical boom, he's right there. Great use of shadows. What I love about this, I love the look of the ship. It's super huge. You know what I mean? I want to know how big if this was a stage, if this was an actual ship itself. But what I also love is a lot of this movie is in the rain. Outside in the rain or outside at night, you feel fucking cold watching this movie. You feel wet. You can feel the elements. There's a lot of scenes, I'm pretty sure it's CGI, when they're like on the mast trying to adjust like the I don't know what they're called. You know, what the wind blows against. You know, to help the ship move. When they're up there, adjusting that stuff, and you look down, you can get some fucking vertigo. Really well done. The gore. I don't remember the gore being too bad. You know, we get some neck slits, we get some vicious bites, but overall, it's not too terrible, if I remember correctly. If there was one thing I want to really kind of complain about this movie, it is some of the deaths. There is a character when the crew finds out that vampires die by sunlight. One of the infected is tied to the mast, and he's left out in the sun. Because he attacks a crew member, and they're questioning him, type of thing, and he gets in the sun. The CGI fire is kind of lame. There's a good use of the bad CGI fire in the scene where Toby is dead. Toby is killed, and it's a great scene with the captain. I'm just gonna call him Captain Davos, where they're going to throw Toby's body into the ocean, and Davos swears he sees something move under the blanket. So he goes. He's, oh no, he's still alive, Captain. You're grieving. He's not still alive. He's still alive. He opens it up. Toby's dead. Great makeup. You know, him looking pale and stuff like that. He opens his eyes. They got the white eyes. You know, like there's no color. Toby attacks Davos, and then he gets caught on fire. You know, the CGI fire, which also burns Davos as well. So great scene, even with the shitty CGI. Love the finale. Love the finale. How they plan on sinking the boat to trap Dracula in the middle of the fucking ocean with nowhere to go, and he'd have to deal with the sunlight. Polka Dot Man. I love his final scene with Dracula where he's taking an axe to the hull to let the water in, stuff like that. That's a great scene where they think they have Dracula trapped. Clemens and the girl. The final scene with the girl is expected, but it's handled very well and very sad. So I like that scene as well. And let's just say the last couple minutes, they do change up the spoilers. I already talked about, watch this video at your own. If you're watching a video where I mentioned in the beginning, I discuss spoilers in specific scenes, and you're still here, this is your own fault if you get mad. Clemens survives. Now, I liked that. We find out what happens to Clemens, and Clemens is showing that Dracula's still there. I love that because now Dracula's fucking with him. I forgot the beginning of this movie. I love the beginning of this movie. How, it starts off and the ship is already crashed on the shore, and you have the law enforcement walking, and one person has already seen the inside, and, oh, it's terrible, sir. He gives the diary to the chief, and the chief is reading it aloud. So that's really cool. I love oh my God, the outside, the sets of this when they're in Bulgaria, and they're just bringing crate after crate after crate on horse and buggy. Oh my God, there's so much good in this movie. I really, really dug it. And if you can get past the fact that they changed the ending of the chapter, whoop-de-fucking-do, who cares? Or, well, granted, I haven't read it, but everyone of the Demeter is supposedly dead. Clemens survives. You can get past some of the CGI fire. I highly recommend Last Voyage of the Demeter. Creepy looking Dracula. Great acting by everyone around, and especially a kid. And I said I'm weary on, or I'm iffy on child actors. Great look, great feel, great direction. I love this director. Now I'm going to check out. Bold coming up on this channel will be the Autopsy of Jane Doe and Troll Hunter. So much good in this movie. Highly, highly recommend it. Go get yourself a copy, or it's probably streaming somewhere. If you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of vampires, I will be very, very fucking surprised if you don't enjoy this film. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I just hit my little stand there. Did it again. Fuck me. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. Comment below. Tell me if you've seen this film. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Is it boring? Is it stupid? Did you love it? All that jazz. Plenty coming up on the channel for stuff I've never seen. I already mentioned 2 films. I'm going to do The Blues Brothers, The Godfather, The Wicker Man, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Barbie, Slapshot, a bunch of shit. It's going to be cool. Rambling on. Cheers.